Oh, Jesus. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Lord have mercy. Listen, I really should not be checking my messages before I go live because I feel like that's when ish really hits the fan. Shout out to everybody in this house. Miss O, welcome to Miss O. She's a new member. Hoping for answers. Candy, Chico. My goodness, I hope you're doing well. But let me know. I messaged you. Let me know if you need anything on our little group message there, okay? Um, Let me know. All right. Desiree, Candy, let's see, everybody. Yes, everybody, come on in and make sure you're hitting that like button because we really gonna get into it. This has definitely been a developing story. Hey, Lux, and me and you is in the house. Welcome to you. I hope you're doing well, me and you. I've got words, Callie, Dime, all my beautiful subbies in the house. But shout out to my beautiful members. Thank you for Mellow One. Welcome. ¿Cómo estás? Hola, hola, hola. Okay. And Kitty Queen, of course, of course, of course. Shout out to everybody from Kansas. Okay. Len is from Kansas. Thank you. Shout out to you all from Kansas. Leanne, welcome. I just like taking a moment to greet everybody before we really get into it. I know. I can use my stickers. Whoop, whoop. I know. Jeff, where have you been? You finally made it. I have felt neglected because I hadn't seen you around, and you always in my lives. You're always like somewhere. So where have you been? I know I've been busy, but where have you been? Give me one sec, y'all. And I got to move this a little bit. 1 second. Alrighty. Okay. Yes, you made it. All right. So we're going to get into it. Oh, well, no, I'm not, but thank you. Um, I'm glad you feel love. Oh my God, it's Huck's baby girl's in the house too. I haven't seen her. She comes every once in a while. I've seen her every once in a while. Sarah, I know she came this week. Um, all my crap is falling all over the place. And then I got people messaging me too. My chapsticks are all over the place. All right, I gotta stop. Let me get it together. Okay, we gotta definitely get into it on this one. So we did a little coverage on this story yesterday. Hey Sarah, regarding Carlishia Hood and her 14-year-old son out of Chicago. And it was a very interesting live because the story kind of developed fairly quickly in terms of um the charges were dropped yesterday, and now we have a lawsuit that it will be happening. Can you believe I'm 100% unfamiliar with this case? No, I actually, Mello, I'm actually not surprised that people would not necessarily be more aware of this case. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do feel like cases as such don't always, first of all, when this case dropped, um, it was riddled with misinformation about what actually happened. We were told, we the media, there was a lot of misinformation that happened. We were told that mom, Carlishia, instructed her 14-year-old son to shoot this man. A lot of the articles are reading out like that. Okay. And so then it kind of like, the mother side of me, and I'm sure the citizen side of me, and just the loudmouth part of me, just how I am, right? Really came in there and say, how could a mother do that, right? Because I'm just thinking of the outrage, and I know a lot of people felt that way. How could a mother honestly do that? That's what a lot of us approach this story as. And then come to find out that probably that's not how it went. We later found out about a video that was circulating, going viral, of a man that had struck Miss Carlishia Hood 3 times at a hot dog stand. 3 times. One, two, three. I mean, and it was like there was a lot of bystanders there. Um, there was a restaurant person that was there. Nobody really got involved to try to stop the altercation. One of the things that we learned, and shout out to my wonderful subby, who was in the chat and was saying, this is not the best area in Chicago, and you definitely like, people are strapped in this area, and it is what it is. Chico, welcome, welcome. Thank you for renewing, Chico. Um, yes, honestly, I think the post I'm seeing online is sick. Yeah, a lot of them, everybody's taking a different take at this, right? One said he went in for a burger and got wings instead. No, it was a hot dog stand. See what I'm saying? It's like, hey, Scorpio, it's like different misinformation is out there. Hey, Amy, about this, right? It's a lot of misinformation. And so initially the internet was kind of like upset, like, oh, I know. My bad, Rico, and I see Rico up there. I see Rico and Chico. Sorry, y'all. Look at there's Rico. Sorry. Chico. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the heads up. One said he went for a burger and he got wings instead. Says Chico. Thank you. I'm talking really fast. Hey, Kate. So there was a lot of misinformation that was delivered about this. It really was. And a lot of us, I think the media kind of played in our heartstrings. Period. Beck says, I'm from Chicago. It's a war zone. Gun laws don't work. Yeah. Oh, Chico said, no, they're making fun of him dying by saying he went in for a burger and got his heaven wings instead. Oh, so the internet is like definitely taking it to a different level. Hey, love, welcome. Listen, it's too much. It's a lot. I wouldn't necessarily make fun of him dying because that's not at all what you know, I definitely feel like we were having this huge argument about whether this was justified for the 14-year-old to have shot him. Okay. Um, a lot of us were going back and forth on that, and we all kind of landed like, why are they incarcerated? And then we found out that the charges were dropped, which was, I think, very interesting. So now, today, this literally just happened. I mean, charges were dropped yesterday. Is today Tuesday? Tuesday, mom now files lawsuit after charges against her and son dropped in West Pullman restaurant shooting. Okay. And everybody's talking about this case because it's um, definitely one interesting one to talk about, right? Yes, sensationalism. Hey, Nicole, so they're making fun of the dude for dying. I'm heartless, but not that heartless. I hear you. Layla says, I was in the comments of his girlfriend's cousin's post for him, and the comments are brutal. Really? Hey, shits and giggles, how are you, my love? Okay, Layla, like, I know, and you were in my chat when we were talking about the story yesterday, and I know you were like, look, like, dude got what he deserved. A lot of people were saying he got what he deserved. This was justified. You put your hands on my mom and whatnot. Yeah, it was just a lot of us were going back and forth about this, right? So I definitely like took the side of like, let me help, let me understand this a little bit more. And then we got misinformation from the media. So I'm still missing something. What really happened? So what really happened? This is where we're at right now. The charges were dropped on Monday. Mom justifiably drops a lawsuit. And let's talk about this lawsuit, okay? Let's read into it. So a woman files lawsuit after charges against her and her son dropped in West Pullman restaurant shooting, okay? So a Chicago woman has filed a lawsuit after charges against her and her son were dropped in a deadly shooting at a South Side restaurant. Carlishia Hood, 35, was flanked by her attorneys in Bronzeville during a news conference where they announced that they have filed a complaint against the city of Chicago and 5 other police officers. They claim Hood was falsely arrested and maliciously prosecuted, and that she has also suffered emotional distress. Her and her son, that's for sure, because they were both her son, both of them, I would imagine. On June 18th, this literally was a week ago, right? About a week and a couple days ago. On June 18th of this year, she says, my life changed. My son's life changed, Hood said. Never in a million years would I have imagined being brutally attacked, beaten, and then arrested. She was hit by Brown, okay, the aggressor, 3 times in like the face and the head. Just it was a horrible thing to see, and it's out there. Shout out to Nika at Night. She has the video on Twitter. If you guys want to watch it, check it out. This comes after the Cook County State Attorney's Office dropped all charges against her and 14-year-old son. The charges stem from an incident at a hot dog stand on June 18th. Okay. And the woman speaks after the charges against her were dropped at the restaurant. Let me hit play on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Here we go. Oh, Lord, I probably need to unmute it. How about that?
State's Attorney Kim Fox
Hold up.
for doing the right thing and dismissing you all for being here today. I want to first thank the Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox for doing the right thing and dismissing the charges.
Yeah.
This is what justice looks like.
Yes, Miss O.
I also want to acknowledge everyone who has been impacted by this in any way. To everyone who has supported Ms. Hood and her family through this trying time, we thank you. Yesterday, criminal charges of first-degree murder were dismissed against Ms. Hood and her 14-year-old son, rightfully so. Now that she is free, we think it is important that her story is told and that she is heard.
Say it. Say it. Don't stay quiet.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carlishia, Carlishia. Last name is Hood, Hood. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support for me and my family. On June 18th of this year, my life changed. My son's life changed. I've experienced pain in many ways that I would never have thought, never.
Wow.
What happened to me was totally unnecessary. Never in a million years would I have imagined being brutally attacked, beaten, and then arrested. I am thankful that the Cook County State's Attorney dismissed the case. I am also thankful to have my son with me and by my side, and also his charges being dismissed.
Wow.
I thank my family for supporting me and the people all over the world. The people did not play. Yeah. And I just thank God everything was revealed. And just everybody who has been praying and rooting for us, I just thank God for them. That did not go unnoticed. You are all not forgotten. And we are praying for all the families affected by this horrible tragedy. I am now in the process of healing and putting my family's life back together. During this trying time, we ask if, we could please have space to rest and recover from this life-altering situation. And that you all continue to keep us in your prayers. In the near future, I will be able to respond to outpouring of support. Again, I just need a little time to heal and to just get my life back with my baby. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
Take your time. Take your time, baby.
My goodness.
That's it.
Oh my God, the trauma, yo. The trauma. I can't.
Yeah, I know.
It's all right, Carla. It's all right, baby. You're strong. You're strong.
Oh, Jesus.
You're strong. You got this. God bless you. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Attorney Brandon Brown. That's Brandon, last name Brown, Brown. This morning, we filed a 4-count complaint on behalf of Carlishia Hood. This complaint is being filed against the city of Chicago and the defendant officers who were responsible for her arrest. The complaint contains counts of malicious prosecution,
Wow.
false arrest, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. We do not take
Oh, sorry, y'all.
what happened to Ms. Hood lightly, and we intend to pursue this lawsuit, and there will be additional lawsuits forthcoming. I want to add that Ms. Hood and myself, we recognize that there has been a life loss, and so we are praying for the family of this man who lost his life. I don't want that to be forgotten. We appreciate that lives were affected by this incident, and so we don't want to dilute or diminish that. However, Ms. Hood and her son, we believe were wronged, and we intend to pursue that. Ms. Hood is not going to be answering any direct questions. Myself and Attorney Williams will be answering a limited number of questions. However, once Ms. Hood has time, and keep in mind that Ms. Hood was just released yesterday afternoon. And so she needs time. But once she is able to process and reconnect with her family, she will present herself again, and we will make her available, but not right now. We're asking that you give her space. We understand that there have been a number of people going to her home, attempting to contact her at her home. We also recognize that there have been things going on in the World Wide Web that may not necessarily be genuine or without malice.
Yes.
And so we would ask each and every one of you out there to keep this family in your prayers, protect this family.
Yeah.
Let me stop right there. Mellow One says, Rabbit, was the dude just a random guy who beat the mom up? Basically, they were at a hot dog stand. So the police said that Hood was arguing with the man in line. They were at this hot dog stand. Then that's when police said, this is their statement, that her 14-year-old son came in. As he is watching from the doorway, police and witnesses said that the man arguing with his mother, who has been identified as 32-year-old Jeremy Brown, repeatedly punched Hood in the head, repeatedly meaning 3 times. Okay. The attack was captured on cell phone video, and which it went viral and had been shared by a lot of people. Police said as his mother's being hit, the teen fired his gun. Now they say it's his. I don't think it belonged to the teenager, the 14-year-old. More likely he fired a gun repeatedly at Brown, shooting him in the back. Police said Brown ran out, and the other mother and son did too. And the mother and son did too, with the son still shooting. So, and Jeremy Brown had a girlfriend with him too, who my understanding was egging on the situation, as Carlishia had been hit a couple times. That just gives you the scope. It sucks, baby girl. Please give me your unpopular opinion. You already know that I'm going to read it and I'm going to welcome it, even if it differs in all of us. You already know how much we love you over here. And I respect your opinion. I saw this earlier and I was blown away. This world is insane. I want off this roller coaster. I'm straight up not having a good time. It's a oh my goodness, it's a crazy situation. Allegedly, from me snooping in the comments, Jeremy Brown set his girlfriend's house on fire back in April. The video and text messages were leaked. There is more than one half. So I would believe that this man has a rap sheet. That's one thing that I think everybody, I've heard a couple people say on the internet, we're not surprised. Somebody who's willing to just hit a random stranger, man or woman, just like that, is somebody who has done this before, right? Um, whether I just, clearly, of course, we don't want this man to die, of course. It would have been great to have been able to prosecute him personally, but that's just not how things played out. How long did she stay in custody? I believe she turned herself in. So this happened on the 18th. She turned herself in on the Thursday with her son, and then Monday the charges were dropped, which I believe she was released yesterday. So just for a couple days. They were going after the parent. They gonna go after the parents. Whose parents? Shits and giggles. Tell me, whose parents? Um, Let's see. Who else? Allegedly, according to some of the girls, she said that Jeremy Brown sent his GF to the hospital, nearly leaving her face disfigured. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Kimberly says God is good. Jeremy Brown rap sheet is a mile long, and yes, he beat his girlfriend numerous times. gonna make it where parents can't own guns due to juvenile behavior. I mean, that's a possibility, you know? The more important thing though is in just to clarify, did she tell her son to get the gun? You know? Because that's how it was painted out, and that's a completely different story than somebody whose son just went to the car. She has a license to carry, so she can definitely carry her. She can have her gun within her person or in the car, wherever she wants to have it. For whatever reason, her son went to the car. He wasn't going to go up there being 14 years old and take this man out by blows. He grabbed the gun, right? My mama has a gun. She's packed. I got to go get the gun. You know, he did. Now that's just how I see this. Let's see, was beef with this dude and the woman in the first place. They were just at a hot dog stand. They were ordering. I think maybe her order was taking a little too long than his, and that might have set things off. um I am a native New Yorker. Renee says, I will always defend my mother and father if they were being attacked. Her son did what he needed to do, needed to be done to protect his mother. I know. Did the mother know her son had a gun? The mother had a gun. She's a gun owner. Son grabbed the gun and shot the man. My opinion won't be popular either. You know what? That's okay. In America, you get a ticket to the front row seat. Well, there you go. Especially now that people can capture things on video. That's right, Mama Cook. We need to look out for each other instead of looking away from the ugly side of life. So glad this woman and her son are free, and they will need therapy. Allegedly, some guy has exposed Jeremy Brown for being in the closet. Oh Lord, they're really going in on this guy. I mean, I don't really care about his sexuality. I'm be honest with you. Whether he was in the closet, on top of the closet, in the bottom of the closet, I don't give a damn. Okay, what happened was not okay, and I don't, the problem with these stories too is that people, and I'm going to say this, especially bloggers, they tend to go for like, sexuality, what skeletons in the closet, all that other stuff. It's just horrible. But that's just part of the issue here. My oldest son would have done the same thing. Mom can be charged for mishandling the firearms, unsecure weapons. Well, everything was dropped. Everything was dropped. I support the stand the young man made. I support that it could have been held at home pending investigation, but sue the arresting officers. Mike says he also saw that no one was helping his mom. Mike, that's a given. The cell phone images showed that nobody was helping. They were like, in like somebody said, shout out to Miss Mary from Facebook who said, would you guys get involved? You don't know who's packing. And would you stay in the scene? You don't know who's, related to who's going to come back and then shoot up again. Like, we don't want that. I mean, I'm saying there's a shooting, there is a shooting in public, an investigation had to be done. What, she beat by the police or something? I don't know. I don't know what else happened, but let me continue playing and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Protect this family, and I have good reason to believe that they need protection. And with that, we would open it up to any questions.
Yes, they did.
Who was the suit filed?
The lawsuit was filed this morning
Where?
in the Circuit Court of Cook County.
And legal argument, I mean, presumably police went to the state's attorney's office for felony review for this case.
That is correct.
Got that approved. So
Well-
what would the legal argument be that
Well,
police shouldn't have arrested?
well, that'll be something that we'll address in the near future. But that'll be something that we'll address in the near future.
I imagine it's addressed in the lawsuit though, so.
Can you talk a little bit about the way this played out? So the police had put out some video of her to turn herself in. So with that said, the police would have had to have seen her get hurt or beaten at that point. So then there's this time in between that and this viral video where we're hearing from the state's attorney, more evidence is presented over the weekend. We assume that that's the viral video, but we also know that police had some kind of video in their possession to even put out a picture or an image of her to turn herself in. So is the crux of this that there was a rush to charge. There was. Can you kind of explain?
Was there a rush
Explain
to
that.
charge? That's a good question.
Yes, it was an obvious rush to judgment. And
But they would have seen this video and seen her being beaten. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Mm.
Why find no fault with the state's attorney's office in terms of
Oh,
charging her?
oh.
well, again, we want to thank State's Attorney Kim Foxx for doing the right thing and dismissing the charges. With respect to our complaint, it is a legally viable complaint. It is rooted in the law. We understand that the concerns that people may have about the process, and we certainly share those concerns. But right now, I think it's short-sighted to take that direction, and we will, upon further investigation, we may be able to better answer that question.
So what do you believe the police did in her case, if you were to spell it out?
Right, it's in our complaint, and so we have copies here of the complaint.
Can you say it on camera?
Yeah.
What did the police do when they took her into custody?
Those that are asking that question.
That's what they did. They wrongfully arrested her, and I don't want to go into great detail.
Wrongful arrests. There you go. So let me show you, Chico, my beautiful member and mod, just send me these things about Jeremy. Okay. And let me see, yo, I don't think I could, this is so, like, I have to zoom into the screen, so I'm gonna try to read it from the Discord. But somebody said, rip to your woman beating, oh Lord, beating ass. Yeah. But you said on your grandmother, because he did. He was calling on his grandmother when he hit her 3 times. Is the grandmother alive? And you went to meet her. Oh, I guess not. And you went to meet her no less than 5 seconds later. Y'all gonna learn to keep your hands off of people. Ends. Not saying the words, think, cause y'all some thugs. Ain't shit gonna happen to y'all about low-key time karma hit and that ass real fast. Fast food boy, oh Jesus. You should have just went to J&J Fish and got some wings with your dead ass. Congratulations, son. You did a great job by removing another senseless, dumb-ass dude off the streets. People are not showing any mercy. No mercy. Yeah, the granny was gone. I was like, he basically called on his ancestors, right? Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I absolutely could understand suing for not getting medical attention. Wrongful arrest can also be a lawsuit. I know. I'm like, let me read this very carefully, Kiva, because I gotta be careful. I'm not reading everything. Chicago has the worst illegal gun problem. People being shot down. The boy was defending his own mom. I know you didn't lie, Chico. Facebook is being ruthless right now. I mean, come on, yo, guys. The man is dead. Like, so he's being made an example of, basically. And we got, here is a list of charges for the felon who attacked the mother at the restaurant before her son put him out of his misery indefinitely. He has an arrest record for physical assault. Roll that big, beautiful being footage of arrest charges. His birthday is next Friday. He'll have his Red Bull wings by then. Oh. Listen, you come for my mom. Yo, it's ruthless. Like, but look at the charges. She's got a driving charge, transparent carry, alcohol, liquor, driver, gambling, domestic battery, order of protection. Let me put this comment down real quick. Disorderly conduct and order of protection, domestic battery. No. Sorry guys. So this dude, I mean, yeah. I saw a comment. Now he gets to see his granny before he goes. Pretty much, that's what they said. They were saying how, because if you saw the video, he was like saying on my grandmother, and he's looking up at the sky, the ceiling, before he hit her like the first time. Gotta stop playing. Don't play. Don't play like that, because you just never know when you could be, when your lights are out. That's it.
And you don't have to be a lawyer to appreciate and recognize that when a woman is
Yeah.
violently attacked by a man, an unarmed woman, that she shouldn't be arrested. And if any one of you were to replace Carlishia Hood with your mother, with your sister, with your daughter, if your mother or sister or daughter were attacked in a restaurant when she's trying to order a cheeseburger, would you expect that she would be arrested?
Nope.
What would you do in that situation?
Well,
and so if anyone can draw any other logical conclusion from that other than that she should not be arrested, I think you understand where our lawsuit is coming from and what is.
Keep that in mind. They dropped the charges. So clearly there was a wrongdoing here. Like if these attorneys are saying that these officers there was a wrongdoing there, then there's a problem. Teresa said, ask and you shall he asked on his grandmother. He said, on God, on his grandmother, ask and you shall receive. Stop playing when you pray, when you're mentioning your deceased loved ones. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm religious, so you gotta stop playing. Don't be calling people. Don't be calling on people. Don't be calling on people. You just never know. He's a whole menace on the streets. He was a whole menace on the streets. He spoke his demise in existence. I know. I told y'all that's not the full screenshot. He was more. Oh no. Thank you, Chico. That's not the full screenshot. Okay. So he's got more charges. So that's just a little bit. We don't even know the rest of them. Be careful what you put out in the atmosphere. Words are very powerful. Laverne says my son would have protected me. It was called self-defense. You know. Definitely. Why sound like another ban guns political tactic? Says, okay, if they were not in custody, someone retaliated against them, they'd sue for not being protected? I don't know. So if they were not in custody and someone retaliated against them, would they sue for not being? I don't know. That's a good question, though. That's a good question. Word. Especially those dirty deeds. Yes. And yeah, they should have been arrested. I don't know. I don't know about the lawsuit, says Teresa. I mean, charges were dropped. They have to let these criminals get away with this shit for so long. Yeah. Yeah. His granny didn't like him getting it. Yeah. Right? Let me hit this play and we can keep watching.
Why not? When there's no defending what the deceased did before the shooting, but when that altercation is happening, why not leave rather than text your son to come into the restaurant?
So we're not going to answer that. We're not going to answer that question. That'll be something that'll come out later.
And I know
the scene but not stay for police.
Sorry.
Why did Ms. Hood leave the scene but not stay for police?
So there's video of this, right? So we don't have to go into great detail. There's video that goes over the actual attack and how it transpired, right? So again, as Brandon said, if you put yourself in that situation and you see how fast everything happened, I think you can draw a reasonable inference to that question.
What would your answer be to that question?
My answer is to look at the video surrounding it. It's clear. It's clear how you see an argument. You see everything on the video. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that you aren't seeing. And so you see how it transpired from this to this to this in an instant. And an individual that goes in there that don't know, that didn't plan for this to happen, that had no want for this to happen. There's many things that can go through that individual's mind. And her state of mind, I can't tell you that right now. But we're asking you to look at it from a viewer and to come up with a reasonable inference. And yeah, we have a lawsuit pending.
Ms. Williams,
And things will go over in the lawsuit.
what was the fight over in line?
Nothing. She was beaten for nothing.
Well, of course, I mean, nothing would.
But it wasn't a fight.
Was that?
It just wasn't a fight.
It was an assault.
Did he start the conversation with her? Was he telling her to get out of line? I mean, we pick up a little bit of what happened, but I guess a lot of people are trying to figure out how did it did it build up to him hitting?
It Miss Hood doesn't even understand how it built up. It was unnecessary. It was a vicious attack for no reason.
Oh my God. Oh, Chico. Let me stop right there. Let me show you guys what Chico. Damn it, I can't put it up on this one. Um, hold up. I'm gonna have to download these pictures. This is crazy. This man had a rap sheet from here to heaven. I mean, no pun intended. I'm just saying. Hold up.
You said that there might be some other charges in the future. I was wondering, the excessive bond, $3 billion, a definite rush to judgment, and there was a number of other kind of charges, manslaughter, second-degree murder, all kinds of charges. I just find that very difficult to wrap my brain about any of this, especially for a person who has a clean record. I mean, she didn't have all these criminal charges that the other, that kind of bail. I'm just wondering, what was the state's attorney thinking? What was the judge thinking when they could just come up with something so ridiculous? $3 million. They don't get $3 million when they mow down 9 people in the church.
Oh my.
So these other people, I've heard, because I haven't seen the video, only the snippets that's been on TV, but I've heard people talking about extra security in that store. If you're the next person in line, you're giving your money to somebody, and that person that you gave the money to, what was wrong with him that he could accept your money? He can't say, hey, look, guys, we got a line here.
I think the overall answer to your question, there are many things that were rushed in this case. There are many things that shouldn't have happened, and we agree with that. And we're thankful that the Cook County State's Attorney dismissed the charge and that she is now free. She doesn't have to worry about posting that $3 million bail, and she doesn't have to worry about those charges.
Yeah, I had a question back there. First, thank you for doing this. For you, I know this healing process is going to start, and you guys can answer this, but I know she's not going to speak. But the community is wondering. You see this on social media. Everybody's saying, what's next for them? Is this 14-year-old's going to get therapy? Like,
Oh
what's
my
happening?
gosh.
It's only a day since you've been out, but if you guys can get into that, and then also people are concerned about, retaliation, things like that. With all of this happening, what do you say to that?
Well, as far as the family getting help, we don't want to go into that, but I can assure you that they will be getting help and assistance. And we have received countless contacts for people wanting to help. So thank you. Thank you for that question. As far as the threats and retaliation, that have been going out, we are aware of those threats. And again, we talked.
So they're receiving threats. This is what we talked about this yesterday. Can you imagine the retaliation? We don't know who's connected to who and who's involved. Look, let me shout out to Chico. Just send me this right here. Well, not those ones. We already seen this one. More rap sheet, domestic battery, orders of protection, disorderly conduct. Look at all those dates. Home invasion, arm with firearm. I'm thinking that's going to say robbery. Aggravated assault with peace officer, robbery with a firearm, aggravated assault with the peace officer, resisting PC of RO, I think it's core, I'm not really sure, resisting, I'm thinking it's resisting arrest, but I could be wrong. Let me put this comment down right quick. Then we have, because we got more pictures to show, cannabis possession. All right, then the next one, hold up. Hold, these screenshots are not loading. Okay. Hold up. Okay, we showed that one. All right. resisting, domestic battery, criminal trespassing to property, obstructing identification, domestic battery, physical. There's domestic violence, weapons, felony possession, aggravated robbery, operating a vehicle while intoxicated, driving too fast for the conditions, operating vehicle with alcohol concentration equivalent to at least 0.08 but less than 0.15, operating vehicle with alcohol concentration equivalent to at least 0. Look at these charges: disorderly conduct, engages in fights, or engages in fights or tumultuous conduct. It's not the first time he's ever fought in public. Okay? Possession of marijuana, possession of cocaine. Operating vehicle with alcohol equivalent to at least another one of those. I think it's like a DUI or DWI. DUI would be the most appropriate unless it's something else. Disorderly conduct, engages in fighting or tumultuous conduct. Possession of marijuana and possession of cocaine. And then, well, that might have been the other ones, but that should give you guys an idea of what this rap sheet is. And there is his mugs. Chicago. Yeah. This what an upstanding citizen. He was, I think they said he was 32. He was 32, mom 35, and son 14. This is the son. The son shot this man who aggressively attacked, tumultuously, as they say in these criminal records, assaulted mom, hit her 3 times. Yeah. So he's not, this isn't new to, as far as him, assaulting women or assaulting whoever. He's done it before. Okay. He just happened to find the right one. I'm sorry, but he found the right one this time.
About it earlier, we're asking that you keep this family in prayer. We're asking that this family be prayed for, that they be protected. I think one of the things that I don't want to fail to mention is the number of people in this community, in our community, throughout the city of Chicago.
Yes.
Fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, grandfathers. They are with
exactly.
this family. And I strongly and I truly believe that this community is going to protect this family. And so any threats being made against this family is being made against the entire city of Chicago and the entire Black community. And so I while we're praying for the family and we understand that people are hurt, I think it should be noted and known that this community, this city has stood up for this family and stood up for this woman and her son. I don't want to go too deep and say the wrong things, but should the fathers and sons of our community, of the Black community, come together, it's a sleeping giant. And so I know we have many members from the church community here. We are, again, we join everyone in prayer. But we will pray for those who would threaten harm against our brothers and sisters.
Will there be any victims' compensation sought? And I would like to add, please do not post the children's pictures.
Yeah.
The media blurred out one of my nephew's pictures, but people were doing it. So I was just asking, even on my social media.
You know what? They didn't really blur his face, I would say, which I'm like, they're not releasing his name, which is good, but they didn't really do a good job of, now they are, but they didn't really release his, they didn't blur his face. And part of it could have been because it was a viral, cell phone video. And so of course people aren't going to blur those. They're just going to post them because that's what people do. They don't really think about what they're putting out there when they post it. So that could have very well been the case. But yeah, she's like, the lawyer's going to put me to sleep. Wake up. Girl, shots fired, but he just said a word there. Yeah, Chico. Someone in the comments said to the girlfriend, "You should take that boy. Now you're free." I can't like get past the whole situation that the girlfriend was egging on this thing. Like she wasn't stopping it. She wasn't like, no, she was I told you not to. I was like, oh my God, girl. I wonder if that's how he's treated you.
Do not post the children's pictures because that endangers the further the victim's conversation with their DMV.
That's something that's still under consideration. We're
Yes.
not in a position.
What would you say to people who may not be familiar with the legal particulars of this case? What would you say to people who feel like, why a lawsuit? Why not just walk away? The case got dismissed. What would you say to those people who feel like the dismissal should be enough in terms of recompense?
Yes. Well, certainly the position is appreciated. I guess I would say put yourself or your mother or your sister or your daughter in those shoes. And it's simply not good enough for a woman of the community. And keep in mind, we're not going to go into the details of Miss Hood, but this is an upstanding citizen. She is a servant. She is a steward of this city. She was brutally attacked and she was arrested and she shouldn't have done an hour in jail. So
tarnished.
put yourself in that situation.
Everything I worked hard for being tarnished.
So that's what we would say to them.
I know you said it's in the complaint, but so we have it on tape. Prosecutors approve these charges. You have a homicide. The people responsible left the scene of that homicide. What did the police do wrong in arresting this?
We're going to direct all questions as to the substance of the litigation to the complaint. Again, as we've mentioned, we will represent Ms. Hood at a later date. But as far as anything to the substance of the complaint, we ask that you review the complaint. We lay out our version of the facts and the legal arguments in the complaint. We think it's sufficient and substantial. And any questions that you have, we'd ask that you review the complaint first. What we don't want to do is have a nuanced legal discussion here at a press conference. While I appreciate that everyone here is sophisticated, we would never leave if I broke down the legal detail and the legal nuance of how what the law is for malicious prosecution and false arrest in the state of Illinois.
I like that attorney. I like him. You know what though? And I'm sorry, happy birthday. I guess we have a birthday here that will be happening on Friday. Shout out to Zoe Brown. Happy birthday to you. But Chico says, I'm not going to lie, a lot of Black folks have said she needs to cut her losses and leave because the boys in the blue back their own every state. Do you think, I know, and I'm just saying, I like him. I like him. I like him. Chico, can I ask you a question? I know you're in the chat. Do you feel like the fact that her and her son, no charges dropped, just let this be and move on? Is there like a safety thing, not just for retaliation against Jeremy and family, all right, but with the boys in blue? Is there possibility of retaliation for, like, I don't know. Should she just not pursue this? This is scary, yo. Like, I don't know. I don't think I would have the balls to stay there anymore. I'm sorry. I don't know, or anything. I think I would just, even if I went broke, I probably would leave. I'm the only one of them. I totally agree with at Chico, says Candy. Twisted Scissors said, protect her son. Because, yo, this is the lawsuit in the Sun. Pretty Awala says, yeah, I would leave. I would leave. It's highly possible. So you think, Chico, that, it's one thing that you're concerned about, like retaliation from that side, but you also got to consider retaliation from the PD. Rabbit, if it was me, I would not push the envelope here. They cannot be so fast to respond in the future. I mean, His family's probably gonna sue, says Teresa. Teresa, you think so? You know, and that's interesting. Do you think, who would they sue though? Sue Carlishia Hood? Damn, that would be that would be interesting. Just like, that would be bad. I could see that being bad. Is she in danger because she's embarrassing law enforcement? I would be worried, says Coco. Border crisis, same thing, same people. To protect her son as herself. BJ Marshall, they should have been brought in for questioning. The info then passed to the DA to determine if it was prosecutable. Civil lawsuit, says Teresa. My hubby has an ex-Chicago cop where he works here. He said it's a rough place to work at as a cop. Absolutely. Border crisis are the same agents from the countries. Retaliation. Okay, wait. Chico says yes, and now she has to worry about gang members going to tail her son out because he was affiliated. That's scary. I don't think I'm. And you know, I that's the thing. It's like, if she could have get us some witness protection program, she can't even trust that. Now she's going after the police. Like, what protection are they? She can't do any witness protection. You suing the officer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Can she? I don't know if that's even offered to her as a victim, because she's a victim here too. Rabbit, retaliation for both sides apparent here, and she's having a press conference regarding lawsuits. That sounds like it's about to get worse for them. What would be the protection? What would be the protection? Wow. You moved to fade in the back in the background. Exactly. Don't bite the balloon. I don't know, yo. She needs to sue a lot of people, including Jeremy's family. What would she sue the family for, though? Like, this is, oh my goodness. But I could definitely see the ballsiness out of them trying to sue, you know? The end of the day, that 14-year-old is traumatized the rest of his life. They have to worry about a lot. Just move on and start over, unfortunately. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, take her son out because the man killed her is gang affiliated, and Chi-Town is real ruthless. I mean, that we learned that right away at the hot dog stand. You can't even get food without somebody not assaulting you.
So please, we ask that you just take the complaint as sufficient, and at a later date we can talk further about it.
Do you have an answer from the attorney's office about why initially the charges came down? Since if you look at the video, you're explaining that she's the victim in this. So where is the basis of the charges to begin with? What was incriminating about it?
Yes, I think the video speaks for itself. I think everybody saw the video. The entire country has seen the video. We, as we have mentioned, we thank the state's attorney's office for doing the right thing and dismissing the charges. And unless
but why were they filed in the first place?
that's something.
Attorney Fox personally involved in this. How did she know? What did she do?
So again, we want to thank the Cook County State's Attorney's Office for dismissing the charges. I think now is a good time to wrap up the press conference. We thank you for your questions. No more questions. We thank you for your questions.
What if that viral video never surfaced? Do you think the charges
We thank you for your questions. We thank you for your time. I want to be considerate to my client. This was a great sacrifice and a tremendous effort for her to be here today before you. So we're not going to take any more questions. Her family is here as well. I think now is a good time to conclude. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for being here.
We want to thank you all for coming. We'll make sure everybody get a copy of the complaint.
Yeah. Indiana Mom says, new sub here. Shout out to Indiana Mom. She says, thank you for the content. I've been witness to BM. I believe you're saying black men treating Black women like that. And let me tell y'all something. I am not the person. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't speak on those issues because I'm not the expert of those. I have beautiful, wonderful people that educate me on them, and I will always defer to them. But if there's anything that I could do on my platform to provide a voice to anybody on that topic, I'm totally willing to. And note that I take a back seat on that. You want to talk about Latino issues? I'm your girl. But the other, I can only speak for me and mine. And I'm just sharing the story because this is important. Shits and giggles. I'm gonna need you. We're on this topic, and this topic is important, and so is that one. I'm gonna need you to email me other topics. So please do that, okay? Because it's important for us to stick to that topic that we're talking about out of respect for the person that we're covering, okay? Yes, thank you. No, you're fine, love. Just shoot me an email. Y'all, you guys know you can shoot me an email if there's a story or something specific that you want me to look at. I will see if I can, if I have the time to look at it. But thank you. Let's see. Protect your son's mental health and your rights. Now and forever most. Absolutely. And again, I live down the street. Look at a man's shirt. He has a firearm on him. That's why the charges was dropped. Oh, he got shot in the back. Details should be released in the suit, says Big T. Thank you. Um, Confucius says that we all get two lives. I love this, Nebulous. The second one begins as soon as we realize that we only get one. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What does Baby Bunny have to say about this mess? Listen, I try to protect Baby Bunny from all this mess, but I know not just Baby Bunny, all my rabbit children. It's gonna be a day. There's times where you just have to have conversations with your kids about this. That's it. That we need to have conversations about this, kids. Yes, I take people one on one regardless of pigment, says Twisted Sister. Well, laundry is the only thing that should be separated by color, says Cape. If you know how to do laundry, right? Sakina says, I hope she can get the no to protect her. The no. Oh, okay. I'm looking for you to spell out the abbreviation to protect her. I wouldn't trust anyone else. Absolutely, absolutely. I live in Baltimore City, Maryland. These topics hit close home to me. Absolutely. Let's see. What else you guys got to say? Cape is spot on. I know, right? We need to teach our children that it's not like Xbox or PlayStation. In real life, yeah, you can't respawn to a different life. It is what it is. They are heartbreaking conversations, but necessary. And we want to believe it doesn't happen, but it does. And it makes it a reality. So sad. Absolutely. So we have to keep talking to our kids about stuff. There is no responding. Thank you. There is no responding. Absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys. You guys have a beautiful rest of your night. I got to head out because I got to go tend to my beautiful baby bunny. You guys, thank you to my beautiful members. Shout out to Chico. Thank you for those screenshots. That was very helpful. And I will see you guys on the next one. You guys, thank you. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Rabbits out.